Welcome to Left, Right, and You with Tim Elenz and Paul Edwards. They're talking current events, politics, local, state, and federal. Now here's Tim Elenz and Paul Edwards and Left, Right, and You.
I think that's our cue, Tim.
Hey, Paul. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Getting blasted away here.
So, are you ready for Thanksgiving?
Yeah, I was trying to figure out if I should buy a plane ticket and get fondled this weekend.
I think I told you I had.
I can say that on the air, right?
I had to travel last week to Denver, and I got in line 3 times, but that's just me.
Did you have to get 2 tickets or 3 tickets?
No, you just go through security, you leave, come back through. I get there about 4 hours early, so I can get through a few times.
So if you change your name to Muhammad Ali and you want to go to Saudi Arabia, do you get strip searched?
No, I don't believe so. I don't believe that
you really want to strip search Muhammad Ali?
I don't believe that you're allowed to. If people are wearing burqas, if the women are wearing burqas, they're trying to be exempted from doing it.
Whenever I see them, I go up and try to talk to them.
Do you?
Yeah, I hit on them. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you say? You have the most beautiful eyes.
Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering, what if you get married? Do you have to, if you're dating, can you see them before? Or
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. Surprise!
Yeah,
Woo!
here you go.
Next.
So we have our guest here.
We do.
Introduce our guest?
You introduce our guest.
Okay, well, this guest is somebody I met in Washington on the plane, going to and coming back from Washington when I was out there, and he was at that famous Glenn Beck. Was that August 29th?
28th.
28th?
Yeah.
So, Anthony or Tony?
Tony is fine.
Tony works. So we don't know if we can give his last name. We'll see how many callers call, and if there's any death threats, then you can give your last name at the end of the show.
Perfect.
No, I'm kidding. How are you? Yeah.
Yeah, Tony, you got to get right up to the microphone.
You got to move this.
Right,
yeah
you got to get
anyway.
right up to it. We didn't give him any advanced. Yeah.
So I was very interested in him because him and I got along on the plane, and we were talking about different things. And what we found very amazing was the fact that there was completely not representative of the media, did not represent what happened out there, and what you and I talked about.
Yeah, but I think you and I talk about that all the time. Where I'm like, what you read in the liberal press is not the reality, and it's just really and it's just another example of proof positive of it. It's a brainwashing or attempt to brainwash by the liberal media. If you actually just read the papers, you'd be the most misinformed person in the world.
I think we got a caller.
Do we already?
Who is it? Is it Jeff? Is it Jeff? Hi, Jeff. Jeff, are you there?
Hey, Jeff.
Hey, kid, what's going on?
Hi, how are you?
Welcome. How
say
you
hi
doing?
To Tony.
Hey, first off, I want to say...
you didn't say hi to Tony, Jeff.
Hi, Tony.
Okay.
How you doing, Jeff?
Hey, how you doing? I'm good. You?
Yeah, how you doing? Is that Tony Montana?
No.
He's on next week.
It ends in a vowel. It's all the same.
No, I just want to say happy Thanksgiving to you guys.
Well, thank
you.
you.
I hope you guys keep on having that for as long as you can, and always enjoy it. So.
Are you going to get strip searched this weekend, or are you going to go to the airport?
No, I just got through. No, I'm not going in. I hate going during the holidays. It sucks. It doesn't matter whether you're getting strip searched or not. You know, they stick you in a missile, with about 200 other people, and you got a seat that's like half the size of probably the thing you're sitting on. And no, I don't enjoy it. I wait until after the holidays to make my holiday. So.
Okay.
So, do you have any thoughts about the new a full body scanner and molestation search that they're providing for us for our safety?
I just got back from out west. I went to Hawaii, and I stopped over in L.A. a couple of times, and it was about a month ago. And I had no problem coming or going. Guys, the TSA people were doing it, as far as I'm concerned, their job the way they were supposed to. Now, I've been patted down before. I've never had any problems, and there's no groping. Okay, and I've gone through the body scanners. They've had no problems. And I'll tell you this, most of my family lives in Europe, and you go to Europe, and they screen you a hell of a lot more than you think. There's like 3, in Germany alone, there was a minimum of 3 checkpoints I went through.
Wow.
Just to get, somewhere.
Were you groped at each checkpoint in Germany?
No, I mean, they don't.
Well, that's just not right then. Why have the checkpoint if you can't get groped?
No fun.
No, but they do a lot of screening of you, I mean, the point being, there's probably a different way to do things, but, all right, and this is a big but, people don't understand, okay, if I was a TSA screener, and everybody's looking at me, and that's the impression I get from everybody who goes through line. You know, do we want to be safe or do we not want to be safe? And heaven forbid, and this has happened. The drug people in Mexico use their cavities to hide their drugs when they come through because they've been caught, and now they're starting to figure out that might be the next way that something else might go through. Now,
so then we need to get a finger stuck up there.
Enough, they want to blow each other up, right?
Well, so they're going to offer us up your butt oscopies pretty soon, then, huh?
Well, but it's true, and this, you know, if you got to look at yourself.
I've got a pretty big colon.
Spot, okay, I'm not talking about Janet Napolitano because they can't find their
She's got a big one.
head out of our basket or whatever. But the point being, these people, you can't. I'm not saying what is right and what is wrong. There's probably going to be groping. There's probably not going to be groping. I don't have a problem with it. And all I can tell people is that if you travel and you have a problem with it, then don't think and travel.
You know what? Hold on a second, Jeff. I got to tell you, I got to take issue with that. And let me take issue with it this way. Explain to me why a police officer who stops someone in a suspicious mode is not allowed to search someone that is acting suspicious or in a suspicious mode, and if he does, he's violating that person's civil rights regardless of what contraband he finds on them, okay? Or half the time, you know, a police officer does a good search, and the attorneys are in there saying, oh, it was a bad search, it was illegal, he shouldn't have touched him like that, he shouldn't have done that. But I'm going to go to the airport, someone who hasn't ever been arrested in my life, not even for a DUI, not for jaywalking, not anything, and I have to be searched like that, when the reality is that the people that are doing this, and if you've been watching news lately, there's a lot of people who are coming out and they're actually saying maybe we need to profile. And when we say profile, it doesn't mean every Arab-looking person coming through gets searched. But you know what? Someone with my background probably would not be subject to the search and even having to go through security like someone else. But you know what? That person who has frequent trips back and forth from the United States to Pakistan, United States to Yemen, United States to Egypt, someone who does that type of traveling, which is almost everyone who's been engaged in any type of bombing, any type of terrorist activities, that is their pattern of behavior. Those people would be subject to it. So, in other words, we're going to see, and you've seen the videotape if you watched any news, of a little, 4-year-old girl getting patted down, a grandmother getting patted down. I saw a guy in a wheelchair get it patted down in the airport. It's ridiculous. We're being subjected to stuff that criminals, suspicious acting criminals, are not being subjected to. So, what are your thoughts about that? And Tony, I want you to chime in on my opinion on that as well.
I think
let Tony chime in real quick.
Well, I think I would illustrate it this way.
He's way too calm. Listen to that calm voice. Get me ranting and raving, and Tony comes in. Well, let me explain it to you this way.
Hold on a second. Let me put
he sounds like we're going to go into love radio. Okay, go ahead, Tony. Sorry.
It's many years of smoking.
Cigarettes, cigars.
Profiling already occurs today in law enforcement.
Tony, a little louder.
Occurs today.
You got to talk a little louder.
When you are going after the mob, they are not particularly segmenting the groups and attacking specific individuals who don't have a history or past in that type of behavior. It is very common in law enforcement to do that all over the place. So, to me, it's not even a question of profiling. It is, and everyone's probably seen the LL guy on, it's about treating everybody the same way. And you're right. If you don't have any of the patterns of history, you will be treated the same way. However, if you do, then your treatment will get a little bit more scrutinized. And you won't be treated in a poor manner. You will just be interrogated, for lack of a better way of putting it, as only those who are trained in doing so can, accomplish. So it doesn't violate anything in the manner in which Israel approaches every single person who flies. And granted, much bigger country, much more traffic. But to your point on if you don't want to travel, are you a business traveler? Because if you're a business traveler and traveling, because we look at those who don't travel as the amateurs, and I'll get through an airport very quickly, and I time myself to make meetings to fly across the country. And, yeah, it's not just an inconvenience. It's a huge pain. And, no, I don't think I should have to be subjected to that, nor does any business traveler. And it's not a question of safety. It's a question of your rights as an individual. And I think privatizing it would even make it better because, and I don't know who said this, the airline's biggest concern would not to have an airplane go down.
Yep.
And they would treat that much greater than the government does.
Yeah. And Tim, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I don't know. Is flying a privilege? I mean, is it a privilege? Is it
I
like
think it's a
driving
privilege.
Car? Yeah, I don't know.
I think it's a privilege.
I also, too, Paul and I were talking about this before the show. Other than that crazy guy with the underwear and that shoe bomber, too, you know.
I carry a stink bomb in my underwear all the time.
I mean, totally degenerate, mental degenerate people. Usually what they want to do is they want to hijack a plane, and they want to take the plane, and I liked what Tony said. Israel has never had a hijacking. They haven't had a hijacking.
Something like 30 years.
40 years. They have an air marshal on every plane. You get up and you screw around, they shoot you. That's it. That's part of the process.
Okay, this is the thing. Why aren't we doing what the Israelis are doing? And
I don't know the answer to that.
Well, that's the situation. Everybody's barking up the tree about, and we're going about this the wrong way. I listened to a gentleman this morning talk about this, and he brought some interesting facts up. And the way that they screen people over there, and they do screening, and it's basically a psychological thing, but they could tell after, I guess you go through, like I said, three checkpoints, and they screen you is a way that you can tell if somebody's lying or something. But
here, you know what? Let's get some other callers, 847-931-1410.
And you are listening to Left, Right, and You on WRMN 1410.
You know, my father was a Chicago policeman, and he was not able to go anywhere outside of the house without his gun. And I never understood that. But you know what, Jeff? It's a good subject, and I don't know. I think we should move on with this.
Yeah, I just have one more quick thought about it. And that is, that all you have to do to figure out why this body scanner is being put into place is follow the money. And
I saw
they
that
cost
today.
$170,000 each.
Unit.
And the spooky guy, as Glenn Beck likes to call him, George Soros, right up until this all became real public and a problem, owned a significant amount of stock in that company and was once again going to make millions of dollars off of the federal government buying it. So are we buying it for more security, or are we buying it for, thank you, George Soros, for getting me elected?
Well, and it was Mike Chertoff, correct? That was the consultant for the scanner that actually lobbied for the scanner company.
I didn't finish my thought. I'm sorry. My dad, I didn't understand why the airlines didn't just get Chicago policemen or policemen to be like be marshals. Pretty much.